we get a lot of questions on how do we score and calibrate to 94 to 95%. And I want to kind of take you through that process of what that looks like. So when you say, hey, AutoQA, we want to go through the proof of concept with you, we ask you for 10 calls from a form or a program that you want to score. So give us 10 calls. Give us the scores of those calls, how you guys have scored them. And also give us your rubric, right? Give us all the information you have on what information you need that goes into the scoring. So if you were going to train or educate a new QA manager, what would you give them? Or what information do you have? That's what we want. So what we do is we go through and we take that and we build out the prompts by hand, right? So you guys have seen this, if you've been following me at all, right? We take and we build out each specific question, and then we have a prompt. A lot of these, we have our prompt library that we know work unbelievably well, but there's still a lot of proprietary things that are proprietary to your company, SOPs and things that you have to say or do that we have to manually build out. And I think that's makes us a little bit different. We take the time to really know how you want things scored, right? It's not right or wrong. We don't say right or wrong, but your organization may be very black and white with one specific question, and another question they'd be like, yeah, we kind of give the reps the benefit of the doubt. Well, we can kind of put that into the recipe of the prompt so that we're not just scoring if something is right or wrong or said or not said. We're scoring how your culture scores. And I think that makes a big difference, right? When we get to the point where we're prompting and we're looking, we keep track of all this, right? So we have a spreadsheet that you get, right? That shows all of your questions right here along this column. And then how you score. This where it says client, this is how you have given us your scoring. And then this is how Otto has scored the calls. So this is how we can tell what questions we're on or off. When we initially do this, we're about at 85 to 87% correct, like without even doing anything, right? So when we were initially doing this, you see reds in the auto place. When we see red, that means we think the customer was more right and Otto's prompt needs to be tweaked. You see this blue over here, right? If we have questions that Otto has, and we've scored it as a blue, that means that the customer has agreed that Otto is actually more correct. And that happens a lot, right? Because again, so many things that we think we know, but we kind of get into a groove of, hey, I just kind of score it like this. But really, that SOP needs to be scored like this, right? So it almost like reinvigorates or kind of gets everybody back into really how things should be scored. So this is how a normal customer form looks before we even go to proof of concept. So again, this customer was 100%. They had a pretty easy form. But again, we won't even go to a proof of concept. Proof of concept meaning you get to set up all your agents on the platform. You run 200 calls on your own, and then just kind of check the scores out on your own. That's a proof of concept that we give to every single customer. But again, we don't even let you do that until we're about 95, 96%. So this is what makes us a little bit different. And I think we were really trying to take the time to learn how you score, to learn each of your questions, and to make sure that Otto, right, isn't scoring how Otto wants it scored, Otto scoring it how your company wants it scored.